This is Timmy. Timmy loves his country and the American way of life. But Timmy is about to encounter something that every good American boy faces. A strange and often alluring thing. The foreigner. With their different cultural ideals, ways of dress and language, they represent the one thing America fears most. The communists. And what makes an American different than a communist? Everything! With their rampant socialism and complete disregard for good, wholesome American ways, communists are different on a fundamental level, especially in the brain, but we'll talk more about that later. Let's look at how an American brain processes language. In this case, God's chosen language, English. In an American brain, whenever someone is speaking, the sound enters the ear. Your ear, Timmy. Such as at school, when you're paying attention in class, in the car, when you're listening to the radio, or at home, listening to your parents. Once the sound enters the ear, the sound travels down the ear canal. At the end of the ear canal is the eardrum. And it's not like any other drum. No, the eardrum vibrates when sound reaches it. The three tiny bones in the middle ear send the vibration to the cochlea, a small, snail-like structure covered in thousands of tiny hair cells. These tiny hair cells translate the vibrations into electrical signals that your brain can use. From there, your brain sends these electrical signals to an area known as the auditory cortex, where sound is processed. Sounds that are associated with language are then sent to Wernicke's area. The primary job of the Wernicke's area is understanding language. That's right, Timmy. You can thank Wernicke's area for allowing you to understand the beauty of good old English.
Golly gee willikers, mister, this stuff sure is interesting.
We aren't through yet, Timmy. Wernicke's area then sends the information it receives to Broca's area. This area of the brain is devoted to letting you produce your language. After your brain has figured out what kind of statement you want to produce, it sends the information to the motor cortex. This area of the brain dictates how your mouth and throat muscles will contract in order to form the words you need. The motor cortex then sends this information down here into the central parts of your brain known as the striatum. This area of the brain tells your body to produce movement. That movement translates into you speaking. This allows you to carry out conversations and to report any suspicious communist activity to your local authorities. Well, now that we better understand how our brain processes language, we can understand how our American brains are different than those dirty, dirty communists. You see, Timmy, the communists infiltrating our great nation are bilingual.
What does that mean?
Well, Timmy, someone who is bilingual has the ability to speak more than one language.
But there's only one language in America. Why would you need to know two?
Well, Timmy, there are many reasons, and only few of them are good. Most are nefarious. You see, Timmy, when an American learns a second language, such as French or Latin, it's usually seen as a mark of sophistication, and they use it to impress others. However, Timmy, the American still relies on his native tongue and his God-given English language. The communists, however, learn a second language to infiltrate our great nation and slowly destroy our way of life from the inside.
Gee, mister, how do I tell these communist bilingual brains from regular good old American bilingual brains?
Well, Timmy, we really can't.
But, mister, is there any hope for us?
Of course, Timmy. Knowledge is our best weapon against the Red Menace. I'm gonna teach you how to spot a bilingual brain.
Golly gee, mister, thanks!
Well, Timmy, one of the differences occurs before the electrical signal reaches the motor cortex. You see, in the bilingual brain, an area called the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex. As you can see in these images, shows increased activation.
What does that mean?
Well, The dorsolateral prefrontal cortex is responsible for inhibiting the bilingual individual from immediately responding in their primary language, in order to prevent them from giving away their Russian roots.
Is that the only difference, mister?
Well, no, Timmy. There's another difference in what is known as the left caudate. What does that do, you ask? Well, Timmy, have you ever walked along train tracks and wondered how trains change directions?
Uh-huh.
Well, a train track has a manually operated switch that, with the pull of a lever, can change the direction of the train goes. The left caudate does a similar thing. When the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex forces the brain to slow down and wait for the signal to switch, the left caudate sends the signal down the path to execute production of the non-primary language.
Just like a train changes tracks, right?
No, Timmy. Actually, it mostly takes place in the left. The left hemisphere of the brain, that is. Now, Timmy, do you understand how the bilingual brain works?
Boy, I sure do, mister. Thanks for your help.
No problem, Timmy. And remember, if you see something, say something.